Hi folks, this is Andrea here. I'm down in Dungarvan at the moment, down in the southeast coast of Ireland. Down in our family holiday home. I've been down here for the last 2 days just to get a break away from everybody. I've had 2 fabulous runs and a long walk, so lots of activity, lots of sleep, and there's actually children running around the mobile home right now, it's great. We've caught the best of the weather this weekend. What else have I been up to? I got out for a really nice meal in the tannery last night with my cousins, and that's the reason now why I'm going to say a few words on this blog. This is for my cousin Robert, who's studying hard for his exams at the moment, and I'm just going to give a few tips on how to prepare for the exams and what to eat. I guess I've studied a lot all my life, having needed a lot of high points to get into university to study pharmacy, so although it's a long time ago now, my tips would be to write a study plan and break everything down into chunks with what you need to do, and plan for breaks. And in those breaks, there's certain things that you need to do just to recharge yourself. So as well as the food issue, which I'm going to talk about now, I think it's very important that you get outside, you get some fresh air, you get your bare feet in the garden, you get for a little bit of exercise. Music, singing, dancing, movement, all of these things will just help ground you again and help your energy rise up, because it can get very exhausting when you're studying all the time. So definitely try and make time for a little bit of creativity and a break. It will help your study, it will help you remember more, so don't feel guilty that you're taking a break. Also, your sleep is very important. I learned this one the hard way doing my pharmacy exams. We all studied very hard, and I think most of us were burning the midnight oil till 3 or 4 in the morning. It doesn't work. I think by about the last exam I was actually writing things backwards. I was so exhausted. Your brain needs a rest. It's actually at night time when you're sleeping that your brain is putting together everything that you're trying to assimilate and learn from your work. So definitely try and get your sleep in. And if it's a choice between more study, less sleep, or more sleep, less study, take the sleep option, which I'm sure you'll be delighted with. And food, yeah, very important. Even though you feel like you're not moving around and you're not as active and you're not playing as much sport because you're studying, your brain uses up a huge amount of fuel, calories, energy, and carbohydrates, sugar. So it's very important that you're eating frequently across the day. So that means your breakfast, a snack, your lunch, a snack, your dinner, and another snack before you go to bed. Now, despite the fact that we know we need sugars to fuel our brain, it's actually the proteins that help our brain to keep alert and awake. So it's very important that we're getting protein in all of our meals. And protein would include things like fish, chicken, meat, our vegetarian protein powders, whey protein, eggs, duck eggs, all of these foods. So most meals and snacks should contain these things, which requires a bit of preparation. So I think it's important that you work with mom or whoever's doing the cooking in the family to try and make sure that there's sort of food in the fridge for you. So things like, cold slices of meat, smoked salmon, smoked mackerel, cans of fish, eggs, and even having these things prepared ahead, where maybe you have some cold burgers as well, or some boiled eggs that you can keep in the fridge, or making little things like egg muffins would be very handy as well, so that you've always got something to go to and have a little bit of a snack. Other foods that would be very important would be your colourful fruit and veg, because they're giving you antioxidants. So make sure that you're getting those in the diet, and as well don't forget to drink your fluids. Now, the right type of fluid is water, good quality water, and I highly recommend Kangen water, which is an alkaline antioxidant water, which helps brain function. Now, not everyone has access to this, so I would say filtered water or bottled water, but it's still not perfect with the bottled water, but anything that you can step up from the regular tap water, which has a lot of chemicals in there, is great. Sparkling water, cordials. Now, with cordials, you need to be very careful. They don't have artificial sweeteners in there. So I would say just things like elderflower cordial or raspberry cordial, rather than the Mywadis and Kioras and things like that, which tend to have a lot of aspartame in there. Herbal teas, cold herbal teas, even something simple like putting some water in the blender with some lemon juice and a little bit of stevia as a sweetener, or some coconut sugar or cane sugar, and you can make up your own drink, is very helpful as well. The most important meal of your day is your breakfast. I'm going to speed up here because my arm is actually starting to get sore. Let's try and switch over to the other side. It's your breakfast. You really need to get some protein in. So things like toast and breakfast cereal isn't the ideal breakfast. I would say to try and get in some eggs or a protein smoothie with some porridge oats, or a gluten-free grain mix in the morning is ideal. Or even things like cold meat, egg, omelettes, scrambled eggs on some rye bread or oat cakes, or even with a sweet potato. And I know that sounds more like a lunch or a dinner, but that is the perfect way to set you up for the day. Now, the place that you'll get the most tips for with recipes is actually a lot of blogs on the internet, and they would go under the name of paleo cooking. That's Paleo. And if you search around, you'll get a lot of ideas for brilliant breakfasts to start you off for the day. What else am I missing out on? Sleep. Sleep can be a problem when we're worried about things. So even trying to put on some very gentle music just to stop your brain chattering, or some meditations, and you'll find a lot of those even on YouTube if you search on YouTube for sleep meditation, and just settle on one that kind of sounds right for you. But what you find is that when your brain is ticking over and over, if there's someone talking in the background or some music in the background, your brain tends not to be able to talk over it, so it shuts up and it helps you get to sleep. Magnesium at night time is very helpful as a wind down as well, and even herbal teas that contain chamomile or valerian or passiflora or hops, they're all very helpful to wind you down as well, because we tend to get a little bit stressed and anxious, and it's hard to wind down at night time. So make sure, if you're having problems with sleep, to speak to someone, because when you're exhausted it gets harder and harder to study and remember things. I'm going to flip this over just to show you a couple of snack ideas that I have on a presentation that you might find helpful, because I think it's very important when you're studying to sort of graze your way through the day and going for snacks that are balanced and are giving you fuel for your brain, rather than just sugars, which tend to make you quite sleepy actually, are quite helpful. So I'm going to finish on that. I'm going to wish you all luck in your exams. Try not to worry about things. You will do great. You've been working hard all year and you will remember the stuff. And the key is to sort of see it as a game, which it is. The exams are a game, and, keeping your head about you and your wits about you and using that approach, I think, is great. I used to play that game where I used to try and predict what I thought I might get before I went into the exam, and then as the questions were, I'd look through all my questions, I'd plot my time, so I knew that I wasn't going to run out of time to hit any question, because it's important to answer something on each of them rather than a load on a few. And trying to get your points down, because because that's how they grade your results. So getting as many points down as you can is also very important. And then just trusting in yourself. And I used to always feel when you came out of exams, everyone is running around going, oh, I did dreadful, oh, I didn't know this, that and the other. I just used to walk out of the exam, forget about it, tell myself I did the best I could and worried about the next one, rather than running over and over in my mind what had gone on in the exam room. And don't listen to anyone else. Half the time they're telling fibs. Usually when they say they've done terrible, they've done really, really well. So just let them off and do their own thing. And I just want to wish you all luck. And I'm going to flip this over now and show you some ideas on snacks. So take care, everyone. If you want to know more, my email address is A-ChealthSolutions@aircom.net. And I have a Facebook page for A-C Health Solutions, and one for that will have quite a lot of recipe advice on the A-C Health Solutions 30-day Paleo Challenge. So I'll chat to you soon. Bye. So these are just some ideas for snacks. And if you can get Mom helping you out, so some of these are in the fridge, that would be great. These are pictures. think a picture say 1,000 words. Smoked salmon is great. Great brain food. If you like it, try and eat as much of it as you can. Avocado too. These, fats are very good for brain function. Nuts and seeds and coconut are fantastic as well. Sushi is a great one. Eggs. And these can be, you can have boiled eggs in the fridge for snacking on. Just try and get some veggies in with them though. Making your own trail mix with some nuts, seeds, coconut, even a little bit of dark chocolate, and having that with some fruit is a good snack as well. Almond butter, my favourite. That's fab, just slathered on some slices of fruit or onto some oat cakes. Protein bombs, these are guys I make myself. Brilliant snack, you can have them in the fridge. Great brain food. And these ones that have a little bit more fuel in them for your brain. When you're studying, try and avoid having too much toast or bread or pasta. They tend to make people quite sleepy or foggy-brained sometimes. So trying to go more for things like sweet potato, oats, quinoa, rice. You can even make rice into sweet rice by adding in some fruit and coconut. Making your homemade bars. These are great because you can have several of them in the fridge. Like I said, the wholemeal trail mix. And smoothies. Stir-fried fruits with a little bit of yogurt or Greek yogurt, gluten-free pancakes, gluten-free muffins. There's loads of recipes on the internet for these, so maybe if mom or dad can have a look at these, or even yourself, you do need to take breaks from your study and getting a little bit creative in the kitchen. Even if it's a disaster, the way it looks, it's still going to taste good. It gives you a break from study, gets your energy going again so you can get back into it. And then making your own homemade smoothies. You can do these using Greek yogurt or cottage cheese. You can use some whey protein or some vegan proteins, which you can find in the health stores. Or if you're stuck, you can email us. We tend to keep them in stock. A little bit of protein in your smoothie is good. Helps with your brain power. So these are the sort of ingredients you can put in a smoothie. Things like milk, coconut milk, the ones in the can. It's really, really creamy. It's yummy. Ice, that makes it creamier. Fresh or frozen fruit. A little bit of greens like spinach, kale or watercress tend to be handy. Some nuts and seeds, some protein, an egg yolk, yes, not the white, the yolk, cinnamon, cocoa powder if you want to make it chocolatey, bit of banana or dried fruits if you want to add up a little bit more carbohydrates for your brain if you're trying to make it into a substantial snack, and then your yogurt or cottage cheese. Popcorn, but try and get in some fruit with it so that you're getting in your antioxidants. Smoked salmon and some crackers or oat cakes, or an egg on some rye bread. Or you can make really quick pizzas under the grill by using some pita bread or wraps and just throwing on top the ingredients and putting it under the grill so you don't have to bake it. Soup with some meat, or you can throw some beans into the soup or have a poached egg with it. Some homemade muesli bars. Loads of recipes on the internet. But you can throw anything in. Some peanut butter or nut butter, your egg whites, your protein, your oats or your grains, coconut or almond flour, coconut, grated fruit, seeds and nuts, dried fruit, dried cranberries or raisins, bit of vanilla extract if you want. You could melt some chocolate in if you want to make them chocolatey flavoured. So there's a good snack, your hummus, which is great. You can buy that in a lot of the supermarkets with some chopped up veggies and some rice wraps or pita breads. Snack bars. Now, this is just a slide that I showed during my lecture showing people a lot of the unhealthy ingredients that are hidden in the snack bars that we think are healthy. So I'm afraid Nature Valley bars are off the list. Nutri-Grains are even worse. So here are some links on the internet for recipes to make your own bars. And these are some of the brands that I recommend as slightly better. Now there's two that you'll find in the health stores here in Ireland. There is the Bounce bars, and have I got Pulsin? Yes, the Pulsin bars here. You'll find them in the health stores and they're pretty tasty. They have a couple of different flavour options. If you're stuck, we keep them in the clinic and we sell them to discount because I use these for my athletes. These bars are dairy, some of them dairy-free and gluten-free, so they're great. The other ones are available on the internet. That's just an example of the Pulsin bar. There's only natural ingredients in there and they are pretty yummy. So that's it. As I said, I'm going to go